In the grim darkness of the far future, there is no law but the Emperor's will. Across 1,000,000 worlds, the Imperium of Man endures through decree and judgment, a civilization bound not by trust or freedom, but by fear, faith, and obedience. The Lex Imperialis, the great code of imperial law, is said to contain the words and will of the master of mankind himself, expanded and distorted by millennia of interpretation. For the common citizen, it is a labyrinth without exit. To live is to obey. To falter is to be condemned. What follows are the real laws that govern the Imperium, that sanctify ignorance, glorify cruelty, and punish even thought itself. Heresy of thought and speech. In the Imperium, heresy is not merely rebellion, it is doubt. To question the Emperor's divinity, to criticize the Ministorum, or to deny the imperial creed is to invite death. The faithful are taught from birth. To question is to doubt. To doubt is to fall. To fall is death. Speech itself is perilous. Words of skepticism or despair can be branded as sedition. On countless worlds, a careless remark about a governor, a priest, or the emperor can summon the Adeptus Arbites, or the agents of the Ordo Hereticus. Due process is rare and often perfunctory. Conviction is common, and sentences are harsh. In the Imperium, the presumption of innocence has long since withered away. The Arbites act as judge, jury, and executioner. Their verdicts are law, their word carries the Emperor's weight, and mercy is seldom considered. Surveillance is constant, from vox augurs in hive cities to the confessional halls of the Ministorum. Nothing is truly private. Citizens learn to praise the Emperor publicly and without hesitation, for silence itself can appear suspect. Faith in the Imperium is not belief, it is survival. Tech heresy and the cult Mechanicus. If speech is dangerous, invention is worse. Under the ancient Treaty of Mars, the Adeptus Mechanicus serves the Imperium as keeper of its technology and faith. Within its dogma, all knowledge is sacred revelation of the Omnissiah. To create, modify, or question a machine's design without the sanction of a tech priest is tech heresy, a crime punishable by death or transformation. Entire fields of science are forbidden. Artificial intelligence, the abominable intelligences of the dark age of technology, is the gravest heresy of all. Even curiosity about such things can draw the Mechanicus's wrath. Every device is believed to possess a living spirit that must be appeased through prayer and ritual. On strict forge-aligned worlds, unsanctioned tampering can be judged tech heresy with lethal penalties. A soldier repairing his weapon without ritual might be reprimanded. A factory overseer attempting innovation without approval risks execution. True invention is nearly impossible, for anything new must be declared a rediscovery of lost STC wisdom. To claim originality is to claim divinity, and that is blasphemy. The result is a civilization where knowledge is worshipped but never expanded. Progress is illusion. Curiosity is sin. As the Mechanicus Creed teaches, knowledge is power. Guard it well. In the Imperium, that means guard it from everyone. The Lex Imperialis and Imperial Justice. The Lex Imperialis is the backbone of imperial governance, a code so vast that no human could ever read it in its entirety. Its precedents reach back to the Unification Wars, written in dead tongues and enforced through fear. For the Arbites, the law is divine, unchanging, and absolute. Trials, when they occur, are ritual. The accused are often condemned before proceedings begin. Planetary governors and nobles are sworn to uphold the emperor's law, yet even they may face judgment and death for failure. Leniency is rare, severity is the norm. Minor crimes can bring final punishment. A thief may be conscripted into a penal legion, sent to die on the front lines with an explosive collar. A scribe who falsifies records may be condemned to servitude as a servitor, his body merged with machinery to serve forever. And always the justification rings the same. The emperor's law must be seen to be done. In the Imperium, justice is not blind, it simply does not care. Bureaucratic mandates and ritual compliance. If the Arbites enforce the emperor's justice, the Adeptus Administratum enforces his will through bureaucracy. Countless worlds have suffered or been lost through clerical failure and neglect. Every act of life requires permission: birth, work, travel, and even death. A single form misplaced on Terra can doom a world to silence. Some planets have fallen off the records for centuries, through neglect or warp isolation, rediscovered only as ruins. Clerks labor their entire lives, copying decrees they will never read. Errors are heresy. A misfiled tithe report can doom millions. When corruption or failure is uncovered, the usual remedy is not reform, but purge a cleansing of ranks meant to appease the machine of bureaucracy with blood. Within the administratum, process replaces purpose. Ritual replaces reason, and obedience replaces thought. As their catechism declares, error begets heresy. And in the Imperium, heresy begets death. The Imperial Tithe. Every imperial world is bound by sacred oath to pay its due, the Imperial Tithe. Whether in harvests, minerals, or manpower, each planet must surrender a portion of its lifeblood to sustain the Emperor's realm. For most, that means billions of men and women conscripted into the Astra Militarum, or endless shipments of resources to the forge worlds of Mars and beyond. Failure to meet the tithe is treason. Governors who falter are investigated by the Adeptus Arbites or the Adeptus Terra, and many are executed for incompetence or dereliction. Petitions for relief are seldom granted. Shortfalls often bring brutal consequences. On many worlds, the tithe's departure is marked by solemn ceremony. Vast parades march through decaying cities as soldiers and supplies depart for the void, a celebration of obedience disguised as devotion. Yet each tithe weakens the planet further, stripping its strength until only dust remains. When a world can give no more, it is quietly abandoned, its duty fulfilled. The tithe is not merely a law, it is the Imperium's heartbeat and the echo of its death knell. The Ecclesiarchy's Iron Creed. The Adeptus Ministorum, or Ecclesiarchy, rules the souls of men. Its dogma is law. All must worship the God Emperor of mankind. All other faiths are forbidden. To doubt his divinity is heresy. To worship any other power, Xenos, daemon, or ancestor, is punishable by death. The Ecclesiarchy's reach extends from Terra to the Rim. Its priests command the devotion of billions, and its armies, the Adepta Sororitas, the Sisters of Battle, fight in the Emperor's name, despite the decree passive, which forbade the Church from keeping men under arms. The letter of the law was obeyed, even as its spirit was defied. Penance is spectacle. Heretics are burned alive. The repentant scourge themselves. Sinners may be remade as arco-flagellants, their flesh mutilated into living weapons of redemption. In fanatical dioceses, even the faithful may die for failing in zeal. The Creed teaches that ignorance is faith's strongest shield. Art, philosophy, and knowledge are permitted only when they glorify the emperor. All else is heresy. Forbidden knowledge and the Inquisition. The Inquisition stands above all law, yet serves as its ultimate enforcer. Its agents answer only to the emperor, deciding what may be known and what must be forgotten. Within the sealed inquisitorial vaults on Terra and across the segmentum capitals lie forbidden tomes and data cores. There rest records of Xeno's civilizations, warp phenomena, and imperial crimes, sealed under pain of death. To possess or even read such knowledge without sanction is heresy of the highest order. Those who uncover fragments of forbidden truth are often executed not for treason, but for knowledge itself. Most citizens live in deliberate ignorance. They are not told the full truth of chaos, of the warp, or of humanity's ancient past. The lie is merciful, for truth drives men mad. To seek knowledge beyond one's station is to invite the Inquisition's gaze, and that gaze always burns. Their creed is simple. Innocence proves nothing. And so, ignorance becomes humanity's last protection. The laws of the Imperium are not rules, they are chains. They bind the body, the mind, and the soul. They forbid free thought, punish innovation, and sanctify ignorance. They reduce entire worlds to fuel for a God who never speaks. To the Arbites, mercy is weakness. To the Ecclesiarchy, doubt is sin. To the Mechanicus, curiosity is blasphemy. And to the Inquisition, knowledge itself is death. This is how the Imperium endures, not through freedom, not through truth, but through obedience, fear, and endless sacrifice. For in the grim darkness of the far future, the law is not justice. It is survival,